Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Safeguarding People and Tackling Poverty Corporate Delivery Committee for March. First item on the agenda is apologies for absence.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies for absence from Councillor Fogarty.
Thank you. Just to remind those on the call online, if you can make sure you mute yourselves after you've spoken, that we're having a little bit of feedback, and we'll try and do the same in the room here. Okay, second item on the agenda is disclosures of personal and prejudicial interests. Okay, and then item 3 are the minutes. To approve and sign the minutes of the previous meeting, which was February the 27th. So you should have had a copy of those minutes in your pack. Happy to move those minutes. Jan, yeah, somebody happen to second. Councillor Jeffries, thank you very much. Okay, and then the only item really that we've got on the agenda today, substantive item I should say, is the report on the local area coordination guide. I'm not sure who's presenting this. Is it John Franklin? Is it or Lee? Didn't see.
I'll be doing it. I think
Yeah.
Councillor Gwilliam wants to introduce it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Councillor Gwilliam. Do you want to come in?
No, that's fine. Thank you, Kerry, and apologies for not being in the room today. Yeah, just to bring this item back. Obviously, it's been ongoing now, and we're looking at the working model of local area coordination so that we've got a consistent approach across the whole of Swansea. And the officers have been working really hard on this, and local area coordinators would have contacted all the local members to have some feedback into the document. That's I don't want to talk for the sake of talking. If John wants to go through the report with you, that's fine. Obviously, we are committed to our early intervention and prevention offer, and local area coordination sits under that. So it is important that we get this right, and that everybody that needs to be involved has been involved. So I'll hand over to John.
Right, thank you, Councillor Gwilliam. Not sure why my camera isn't working. Can you see me? No. Have I disappeared?
Yeah,
apologies.
We can hear you fine though, John. If you want to.
Okay. Well, I'll play with it while I'm talking, try and get it working again. Yes, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councillor Gwilliam. So this the guide, which is in the pack that was emailed out to you, I think is the latest draft that has been, as Councillor Gwilliam mentioned, has been emailed out to all the councillors for their comments and feedback. Have I frozen?
We can still hear you, John. If you want to keep going.
Still hear me. Okay. So we've had some limited feedback, all of which was really positive. A few queries about some of the detail in the guide. A couple of requests to add some things which we will do for our final draft. Sorry, I think apologies. I think my
John, should I come in here
Sorry.
and just see if you can? Do you want to play around with technology a minute? If I just pick up on the report.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry,
right,
my
no problem.
yeah, sorry, my signal was going funny for some reason.
No problem. I think, yeah, if we do it between us, I think yeah, just to let you know, so you've got a version in the pack. You've seen this once before already. So comments that you made last time have been incorporated. Comments that colleagues and others who've looked at it have been incorporated. Members have seen it, and all members of this has been shared with, and feedback has been incorporated. And I think there's a few last minute sort of changes to go in, and we don't want to necessarily go through well, we don't want to go through it page by page, but I'm happy to take any questions on it. But we'd be really keen for this to be the committee to have the sort of final say on this today. And if there's anything further you want to be incorporated or changed, then it would be we'd be really pleased to get this to a stage to be able to publish it and say this is the final version. Oh, and John, you're back. Vision and hopefully sound as well. So
Hopefully.
good.
Sorry, yeah, thank you, Amy. Yeah, and the only thing I'd add is that you know, there were some queries, a little bit of confusion about potentially who the audience for this is, and this is the audience for this is primarily for elected members, to help elected members to work more closely and efficiently with the local area coordination team. Once it's been sent out to all our elected members, once the final version's gone out, then we will be communicating it to other professionals, other colleagues within the council, with a view to the same thing, for us to be working closer together, and then it'll be then communicated more widely. The leaflet that's shown in Appendix B is the leaflet which we print hard copies of, and that's a leaflet which we hand out to members of the public. So we're not planning on printing this document as a hard document, because it's got web links incorporated into it, which link to the stories and some of the videos. So the idea is it will stay an electronic document, but anything that's public facing is that is our leaflet, which is shown in Appendix B. So that's a much simpler contact leaflet, which gives people a real summary of the role and the contact details of the local area coordinator, and that's what's handed out to the public. So this is, like I say, primarily an electronic document for yourselves and also for other professionals that we're working with. But yeah, I'd be happy to take any questions.
That's great. I mean, thanks to all three of you for attending, and to the officers for all the work that you've done for this over the last couple of years, never mind months. Any questions from anybody on the committee? Obviously, this is the second time we've actually seen the draft copy, and this is the amended version from last time. So anything anybody would like to say? I mean, I'd just like to, I've said already, I've read through it quite thoroughly. There's nothing I've got to add any further. I just wanted to check. Obviously, this will go to. I'll bring you in now, Councillor Jeffrey. This will need to go to translation as well after this point, won't it? Yeah. Okay. Councillor Jeffrey, do you want to come in?
Was that a call for me, Chair?
Yes. Yes, Councillor Jeffrey, if you want to come in.
I don't know if you can hear me, but it's very sort of intermittent what I'm getting. But I assume that we're just sort of looking over the guide at the moment. It's just a couple of sort of typos, or perhaps an inclusion of a word that shouldn't be there. You may already have addressed this if there's been another version of the printed, but on the guide that I have on page 4 of the guide, which is page 11 of the document that we've got, I should put it up here for me to have a look at. In the green, the box, the first top left-hand frame on line 6, I think there's a repeated word in there called there. I think it says coordinate support people to build their vision. I think it should be coordinate to support people to build their own vision, and to delete that second there. I don't know if it's in the latest version. That was.
Thank you, and make a note of that.
And I did see another one again on page 29 of the report, and which is page 11 of the guide, and I think it's item 4. It's just pure grammatical. It may just be me, but it says support people to build and maintain a valued and then there's a comma, and mutually supported relationships. I was just wondering whether the letter, the letter A should be dropped there. Because it's a value implies singular and
Yes.
supportive relationships is plural.
Yes, thank you.
Just
We'll
to
make a note of that.
So support people to build and maintain valued, mutually supportive relationships, friends, etc. I think it reads better there. On a final one, if I may, one bearing in mind the sensitivity of gender these days, which is on page 29, which is on guide page 22, which I assume is probably the last page. If I can get it up on screen with me here. Yes, I've got it here. Just according to me, it says your local area coordinator is at the top, and then it says you can find them at. Now I know this might be sensitive because the word "them" there disguises gender. Now whether that needs to be left in or it should be, from my reading, would be as an older person in this kind of gender sort of sensitive world. It should. I would have thought it should have often find him or her at.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Jeffrey. Thanks for raising those issues. Mr. Collins, a proofreader, I think, Councillor Jeffrey.
Those were the only, yes, sorry, yeah, those were the only three.
Yeah, Councillor Walton.
Picked up on that. Other than that, I've already said to John and Hayley, there's, the document, as far as I'm concerned, is, is pretty well written. It covers the essential information about what a local area coordinator is all about. I think it's done well. It's colourful. It's got impact. But I'll just repeat one thing again. I don't think it's the type of thing that could be pinned on a notice board. But other than that,
No.
I think it's
No.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Walton, do you want to come in?
Yeah. Thanks, Chair. I assume you've received the comments I've fed back, John. I did it via our local area coordinator, Bethan. There was one other, again, this is slightly minor, but again, a bit like the comments Alan's made. There's a heading right at the beginning where it says, what is local area coordination? And then a couple of pages later, there's a heading, what is local area coordination? Now, whether that's supposed to be the same heading, I don't know, but you might want to check that because it seems a bit bizarre that you've explained it and you're now explaining it again, are you? I don't think you are, but I think it just might need another heading. But on the positive note, I can only agree with Alan. It's a good booklet, as long as you get rid of the typos. And there was a picture I noticed that's very poor quality. But apart from that, a bit busy, but the main things are there. And I think somebody asked me, what's the most positive thing? Well, by far, is the comments given by people that have been helped along their journey. So all good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Walton. Yeah, we definitely received your feedback. Thank you. And that we're the image that you referred to, we're going to delete that out of the handbooks because it actually gets a bit in the way, and as you say, it's not very good quality. So that'll be coming out of the final draft.
Great. Good. Pleased to hear it.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Walton. Councillor O'Connor.
Hi there. I agree. If no one had seen it before, obviously it does explain thoroughly what a local area coordinator does, and it explains it clearly, and the real life examples are great. The only thing I would say, the word alongside us, I don't know, I wasn't so familiar with that word, and I feel like it's a little bit repetitive and similar to what Councillor Walton just said, it could probably be slimmed down a page or two, because a lot of it seems to be repeated again. Even when you say local area coordinators are alongside us, you then have to sort of explain what alongsider is again. And that's already been sort of explained, what the local area coordinators already do. So I feel like what a local area coordinator does in terms of walking alongside them is sort of emphasised time and time again. And maybe that's the point. But I just thought maybe there's no need for it to be, you know, emphasised that much, because it is hammered home that that's exactly what it is. But we get the message, so in that way, it's a good thing. So I just thought I'd mention that.
That's great. Thank you, Councillor O'Connor. I can't see anybody else indicating. So I think as Amy mentioned when she was talking, the task before us now really is to just formally, as a committee, approve the draft guidance so that it can go forward and go through translation and go to the point of being published. So is anybody not happy with that? No? Okay, so to take it that we're all universally happy that they can go forward to be published and translated. So yeah, that's great. Thanks very much again to everybody who's worked on that and for coming today and for continuing to support the committee. Really appreciate it. Okay, we're on to the last item on the agenda, which is the work plan. So most of you will know there's a couple of sorry, Amy, do you want to come back in?
Sorry, I think John and I, both of us probably shot our hands up then because we didn't want to miss something as well on the agenda. Sorry, I should have, because of the interruption earlier with the sound. Just wanted to bring your attention really in the reports that we've given today. There's also an annual impact report of the performance of area coordination from 2022. So this was the calendar year. And it was just for information really, but just wanted to reference that because we haven't done one of those before, and it was just an opportunity really for you to see some of the impact. It doesn't necessarily go hand in hand with the guide, but it just helps illustrate it really. And I didn't know, again, just in terms of the committee's response, if there was any comments in terms of that. Hope there aren't typos in it, but there could be. So, you know, we're really sorry if there is. So it's, you know, really helpful actually the scrutiny that you've looked at the documents. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that because we think it really demonstrates in some the feedback from individuals, but also some stats as well about the number of people the teams have worked with, the amount of Facebook likes, the amount of where the referrals have come from, you know, those types of information and the outcomes for individuals. So, for example, there's nearly 4,500 positive changes reported by people through the contact with area coordinators. So I just wanted to highlight that. And John might have had the same thing. Sorry, I don't know if you shot. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, Amy. Yeah, I mean, I think probably like I did, I sort of read it in conjunction with the guidance and didn't differentiate in my mind actually. So thanks for pointing that out. I think Councillor Walton referenced the impact that people on the ground have said that you know that the local area coordinators have had. So yeah, it's great to have that. I think it's really beneficial to have an impact assessment or a report, sorry, on the work of the LACs. Does anybody from the committee want to comment or anything on that? No. Okay. Councillor Jardine.
Thanks, Chair. I'm not sure, but in reference to the impact, as everyone probably know, there was the the gas explosion in Morriston recently, and the community, on the times I visited at the shelter and that, they had nothing good to say about the coordinator, the LAC, about the work that he was doing before, but you know how he really stepped up during the emergency. And you know, he's still up to today. I saw someone, he's still there, he's still on the ground. So yeah, I would say that generally they come into their own and are providing quite a good service.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Jean. I mean, obviously I'll second that as a Morriston council, and having been down to the site and seen all the work that not just the LACs, but the emergency officers in the council did to pull services together was quite remarkable actually, and certainly Byron, who you're referring to there, was certainly playing a central part in that. From what I saw, particularly in the immediate aftermath of the explosion. So yeah, an important point. So thanks very much for that. If there aren't any more comments on this item, I'll move on to the final item on the agenda, which is the work plan. So for most of you who've been around for a while will know this, but for those who maybe are newer councillors this year, April will be the last committee before it's reconvened and new chairs are appointed. So the next meeting in April, which will be on the 24th of April at 4 p.m, will be a review of the work that we've done in the past year. It won't include this item because obviously we've finished with this item today, which is great, and that's really positive. So Amy, as you're on the call with us now, what we're proposing to do, and we can just chat outside the committee, is just to have a brief update on the various items. So there's 3 items outside of the LAC item, which is the corporate debt policy, which we've pretty much finished with, I know. The care services workforce, which isn't something that you're leading on, I know, but Deb Reid is, and then the volunteer strategy as well. So if we could probably just have a brief update on or review of those 3 items in terms of where we were at the start of the year, where we are now, and what the next steps are. Nothing massive, just a review. So look at the work that the committee's done, all the work that the officers have done to support the committee as well over the last it'd be about 9 months actually, because the first month we did a review of the previous committee, didn't we? So and with a view then that when the next chair comes in May, that they won't have to review everything again, that things will be ready to go and they can carry on seamlessly, because obviously some of these items are going to carry on into the next year. Is that okay? Does that seem to make sense? Does anybody on the committee want to ask anything or make a comment about that? Okay, that's absolutely fine then. So we'll follow up with the officers on the call. We'll follow up with an email just explaining that, to confirm that ASAP. And to everybody else, thanks very much for your attendance today. As I say, the next meeting is on Monday the 24th of April at 4 p.m. Thanks to all the officers for all your ongoing support. Thanks to legal services, and obviously thanks to democratic services as well. See you next month.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye,
all.
guys.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.